Good morning. It's Sunday morning. It's 9 o'clock, and welcome to a Sunday Thought. Canada had their Thanksgiving Day day. It turns into being a weekend, but it back in October. Today is American Thanksgiving weekend, and I wanted to just honor that because I thought thankfulness, being thankful, giving thanks, etc., is important to revisit anyway. How often in your mind do you say thank you for things? Do you say thank you when something happens that you like? Just mentally. Now, who are we giving thanks to? Now, when you're aware that there's a force in the universe that loves you, that cares about you, that wants you to achieve what you want, these thankfulnesses that go out into the air by saying thank you mentally when something works well is an honoring to the power that's there for bringing this into your life. What I found is that many people don't think about that anymore. And yet I have utilized that power of the thank you, I call it, many, many times in my life when I wanted something. And I'm going to say thank you for a week that my voice doesn't go funny when I go on air because that seems to be happening. Is it nerves? I shouldn't think so. Is it just wondering, it just or getting my voice because I live mostly by myself, although my son has been up visiting this weekend, and I'm very thankful because when he comes, he takes care of a lot of heavy things. It usually comes up about every 2 months, making sure that things that need doing are done, and spending time with me as well because he lives at the plane right away. So anyhow, giving thanks. Let's go back to that. One of my books, I write a chapter on it, The Power of the Thank You. And I have, as I said, utilized it several times in my life to create things I want by giving thanks before it's appeared or happened or whatever. But, us humans are really funny. We forget. We can have things that really work very, very well. And, you think that you would be doing this forever and ever, and then you forget about it because life comes in the door and things happen. And so you're not really sure what on earth you're doing or where you're going. And so I'm very aware. It's almost like I have a little thing inside my brain that says, when did you give thanks? When did you say thank you? I also found in my life, because I was in a bit of a position of power at different times, to remember to thank people, because it gets very easy to just accept, oh yeah, they're doing that because you're organizing and you're telling people where to go, what to do, etc., instead of saying thank you for being here, thank you for doing this, thank you for doing that. And so consequently we end up not using the word thank you very often. I was out the other day actually doing something, and as I walked away from my exchange, I bought something. I didn't thank the sales lady. I didn't say thank you for this. We just assume it's okay. That's her job. That's what she's doing. But we all like to be acknowledged, and the thank you acknowledges us. We often go sit in if you're like me, we eat and have restaurant food. You sit down and the person comes and puts the food down. You don't even think of looking and saying thank you. And yet it is so, so important, not only for social representation, social acceptance, social acknowledgement. That's the word I'm looking in my head for. Social acknowledgement of what is happening and what is going on. So let's talk about the bigger thing, about creating what you want, being thankful. Stop for a moment. And I said, I'm acknowledging our American friends today. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. I meant to say that right in the beginning. Happy Thanksgiving, our American friends. And I know I have a lot of people who watch the shows that are from the States, and I appreciate that. Think about what it is you want in your life. We're going to do we're coming up to December, which we'll be getting a lot of getting ready for the new year. It's think about what it is that you want in your life that you don't have. And then every day, I used to say, raise your thoughts up into the ethers, but just stop for a moment and think about your goals. What is it that you want in your life that you don't have? And just take a moment, breathe, center yourself, and then out into the ethers, we'll say, out into that energy that is there, say, thank you for, and name what it is that you want and let it go. Just let it go. You may have to do that for some time because you're building up what I call a thought form. And if anybody out there is listening saying, what? What's a thought form? A thought form is the creation that goes out that brings energy back into what you're wanting to create in this world. Because that's how most people who are good creators, that's how we create. I've done a lot of creating in my life, and I'm very, very aware. And I have said to people, if you really want something for 6 weeks, every day, give thanks for what it is. Say thank you for whatever it is you want. 6 weeks, that's all. You're building a thought form. Your life is a thought form. I look around some of my misses and I think, oh my goodness, what's going on? But it's like you are creating all the time based on how you think. Now, most of you know who watched any one of my 3 shows know I've been dealing with one health crisis, it seems, after the other, which has been an interesting transition because mostly, yes, I've had things not happen so well, but I've mostly been pretty good, pretty healthy. And this last 2 years have really been and I know that I'm coming to the end of that. But it's like how it's harder to create sometimes when you have pain or when you can't see the end of the road, all those kind of things. But you can still be thankful for being alive on planet Earth. You can still be thankful to enjoying the moments that you enjoy. For instance, right, I just finished, I follow a soccer team from Britain. My son's up here. So guess what? We've had to stop the game, which is basically in halftime anyway, because 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, I'm on air at 9. But that's what I find the wonderful things is to create in your life, because this is what I do is I watch my sports. And as I say, it's a soccer team. My son watches hockey and football, and we'll watch some American football before I have to drive him up to the airport to fly home today. So he's doing some gardening work for me outside. My flowers are done for the summer, so he will take care of those because I can't, with my hands, I can't lift up. A lot of little things I can't do anymore. But I'm thankful that I'm able to breathe. I am thankful for being able to come on air and communicate with you about some of the philosophies I've learned over the years. I am thankful for you that watch and people like Karen B. and Khalid who make comments. It makes my day feel worthwhile, like as I'm just not here having my mouth work. Thankfulness. I've been very thankful when I've moved to this town in the interior of British Columbia many years ago now. And I've always been happy living here without the humdrum of a big city, having to drive miles to go anywhere. Everything is an easy reach. And if I want to get in the car and drive for an hour and be in a different town, that's fine. I can do that too, which is what my son and I did yesterday. I'm very thankful. There's a little pub that has a wonderful luncheon menu and it has most wonderful steaks. And in fact, my son said to me, Mom, are you up to going down to this town, which is the funny name of Soyuz? It's right on the border, actually. And I said, sure, we'll go for lunch. And so we did. We piled in the car. He drove. And we went down and we had some lunch, came back. I had to visit a clinic that's looking after my arm right now. And anyway, thankfulness. Give thanks. I go to bed. I always raise my thoughts. Well, what I'm doing is connecting in. And then I say, thank you for the day. It was an interesting day. And that's what I recommend for people, because when we get in the habit of not doing that, things begin to, fall apart, drift away, forgetting the major things, that there is an energy that loves you beyond measure, and to allow that energy to come in and create for you from your thinking, from your thoughts that you have fired out there, so that universe knows what to create for you. A lot of people just think if they're here that the universe knows what you want, which maybe on one level is absolutely correct. But sometimes what they want for us is not really necessarily what we want for ourselves. Sometimes we get bigger challenges. I find that when I get lazy with my thankfulness of what I want, that's when the big issues have come up in my life. It's because I get lazy, like everybody else sometimes. And unfortunately, are we all like that? No, we don't. Just me, mentally lazy sometimes over the years. Never used to be, but I became lazy. Life was good. Life worked along really, really well. And then suddenly it didn't. Well, what happened? What changed? It was because I forgot to say daily thank you for the things that I liked, enjoyed, and which is really important, what I wanted to happen in my life. What I wanted to happen. You have a power out there that I call the love essence. People call it by many different names. And the name to me doesn't matter. The essence out there loves you, cares about you, wants you to be successful, wants you to achieve, wants you most of all to be happy and to enjoy the lovingness that is there in this planet. It's all around, but mostly it wants to help create what you're wanting. And so I'm just going to say, move into the power of the thankfulness, but the power of the thank you. I'm sure you'll be hearing a lot more about that as we move more and more closer to the end of the year, because we want to set up 2025 to create or have created for us what we really, really want and what we don't want. That's why we create very often what we don't want. Sometimes life's a little surprising and they say, oh, just deal with this, see how you do that. Do you lose your faith? Do you lose that power of thankfulness if it isn't going your way? The key is to keep believing. It's a song about that, isn't it? Believe. Keep believing. Keep saying thank you. And I'm saying thank you to everybody for watching.
I say thank you to Norma every day. Love her.
It's my son, Rob. Thank you. And so anyway, remember that you just give a little prayer. It's with a prayer, actually. It's a thought form. You're creating a thought form for what you're wanting by saying thank you to the energy so that you create that in willingness. And as I say, thank you for thank you for your comments. I just love it. Anyone new, everyone else I had sort of mentioned, the two of you that were there. Bless you for coming on. Makes my day. I read my comments always. And what I want to say is make sure you put thumbs up if you've enjoyed what I have said or taken something from it. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And remember, you can always reach me through my website, normacowie.com. We have some things coming up, specials coming up for December. That is on my newsletter on my website. So there's many things happening and changing, and I'm adapting, as they say. I think I talked about adapting last Sunday. Today, thankfulness. Good luck. And thank you, my American people. Enjoy the football games. Enjoy the food. Enjoy the company of family or your friends or yourself. Blessings to everyone. Bye now.